How's everybody doing today? This is Uncle Chuck. I hope you're well. I've got a real interesting video for you today, especially if you're an iPollo V1 Mini owner, and in fact, any iPollo box miner that doesn't have Classic in its name. All right, so stick around and let's dig into it. Before we move on, I need to give you a little bit of a backstory on this miner. So about a week ago or just over that, this thing started disconnecting itself from the mining pool I had it connected to, and I'd reboot it and it would reconnect. It would last about 15 minutes and then it would disconnect. So in an instant like this, the first thing I would do would be to reflash the firmware. So I went to iPollo's website and I downloaded what I thought was the latest firmware, which in fact was archaic old and even older than I had on these machines here. So I sent a quick email to iPollo's support email address, and within 12 hours, these guys got back in touch with me, which was fabulous. So they sent me the current firmware, or the latest firmware, with some other features added to it. Along with that, so I reflashed the machine, I connected it back to the pool that I had it connected to prior, and zero issues with dropping from the pool, and no problem. So in that same email, iPollo told me about some new features called dual digging, dual mining, and the ability to make extra profits with my iPollo V1 Mini miners, which obviously I was interested in. So the ability to mine ETC and Zil at the same time using a pool called Ezil. So I connected up a couple of the miners up to the Ezil pool and got them up and running. And while I was kind of this whole process, I kind of looked at some other pools that were offering similar services or similar features. One of the pools that I looked at was called K1 Pool. Now, K1 Pool is not a pool that supports the iPollo dual mining or dual digging, but I thought I would kind of give it a go and see if I could get these miners working on the K1 pool to be able to do a comparison against Ezil. I was successful, so I'm gonna head over to the computer, walk you through step by step how I did that and kind of give you the comparisons of what I thought between both of the pools. All right, let's get her done. Okay, so we are getting ready to log into the front end of our miner, the dashboard. So everything that I've said so far is all pending that you have the most current up-to-date firmware from iPollo on your miner. And if you don't, you're going to have to update it. So we're gonna find that out. So simply use your IP scanner to find the IP address for your miner, put it in the browser, and that's gonna get you to this screen. So you wanna put in root under your username, root for password, and click enter. Obviously, you're in your dashboard of your miner, and up here at the top, this is going to tell you the firmware revision. 76.96 is the current firmware revision, and this is what you need. Again, don't worry if you don't have it. It's not on iPollo's website, but I have uploaded it to a server and left the link down below. So if you don't have the current firmware, click on the link down below in the comments, and then that'll give you access to the firmware. If you've never updated the firmware on your machine before, it's real easy. You just click on firmware update, come here to flash image, and click on browse. Look for the firmware that you downloaded from the link I left below, click on it here, and click enter or upload, depending if you're Mac or PC. And then in the main window here, click upload again. And it's gonna take you to this screen here. Obviously, I'm not gonna move forward because my machine is already up to date. Now the setting here, it is irrelevant. It doesn't matter whether it's ticked or not. It is not gonna remember your settings. So for you, you are gonna click continue. I'm not. Now your machine is gonna go through the process of flashing the new firmware onto your machine. It's going to reboot, and when it does reboot and you log back into the machine like we just did, you should see here that your machine is now up to date to 76.96. So once we've done this, now you're ready to move on to the next step and set your miner up on K1 Pool. The next thing I want you to do is to head to k1pool.com. When you get there, click on create an account. That's going to get you to the same screen where I'm at. You want to enter your name here or whatever you want to use, Joe Blow or whatever. Click continue. It's going to ask you to put in a password. It'll ask for an email address as well. Once you get that, you will be able to log back in to the actual pool. The first time you log into K1 Pool, you're going to hit the My Account page and you're going to see this long wallet address. I'll be clear, this is your account ID and specific to K1 Pool. You will need this in order to set up dual mining of ETC and Zil on your iPollo V1 Mini. The next step is head up to mining pools, go down to ETC hash, click on Ethereum Classic, and at the top, click on Quick Connect. These here are your stratum addresses, and depending on where you live, click on the one that's closest. Click copy, head back to the front end of your miner configuration, and you simply want to paste it into URL. Head back to K1 Pool, and where it says set up your mining software, obviously ignore that because this mining pool is typically for GPUs, but it does work on ASICs. As you will see, I managed to get the iPollo V1 Minis working. So I want you to copy the address here that's specific to your account, head back to the front end of your miner, and I want you to paste it in here under worker. I've got period iPollo 04 because I have more than one. If you don't, just put this under worker name. Make sure you put an X for password or something else. You definitely need a password for it to work. And make sure here under select coin, you have ETC hash selected. Click save and apply, and that's all you have to do with your miner. Head back to K1 Pool, close out here, and click on dashboard. There's a lot of information here in the K1 Pool dashboard, and the first place you're gonna look is under My Workers. You're not gonna see anything yet, but you will when your miner or your miners are connected to the pool. It usually takes about 10 minutes, I guess, 15 minutes, something like that. You can click refresh as well. Now we're not quite finished the setup of the pool yet. We need to add our wallet addresses for both ETC and Zilliqa so that we can get paid our mining profits. So the next step is to head up to your miner name, click on here and go down to wallets. Now I already have my wallet addresses added. So when you guys come in here, there's just gonna be the one line. So head over to the drop-down box, look for ETC, Ethereum Classic, and click add. It'll populate like this, and then you simply want to put in your wallet address for whatever wallet you use and you mine to, and click save. Go back to the drop-down box, look for Zilliqa, scroll down, click add, same thing. Put your wallet address in here and click save. Last thing, you can change your payout settings here. Obviously with ETC, it says the minimum payout is 0.1, so it is adjustable. With Zilliqa, it is 50. So again, adjustable. If that's something that you would like to do, go ahead. Let's head back to the dashboard and see if we've got any connection status with our miners. So we're back in our K1 Pool dashboard, and hopefully you guys have got a connection with your miner, your miners from now. So let's look and see what I've got going. As you know, I only have 2 iPollo V1 Minis connected to the pool, but I show a status of 2 more. So what's really going on here? Well, 99.5% of the time or even more, you are mining Ethereum Classic. And then the pool is auto switching us to mine Zilliqa the short period of time that we're able to mine Zilliqa. So why can't we mine Zilliqa 24/7? Well, they do not use proof of work as traditional pools or traditional proof of work pools do. They only use proof of work for a certain session, mining session, approximately every hour, sometimes 2 hours, for 1 to 3 minutes of mining time. So a very, very short mining window. So let's head over to Zilliqa's website and see if we can get any more information about this. So I'm over at Zilliqa's main page here, and I've clicked on mining, and I've poked around here a bit, and there's not a ton of information. You'd think there would be more, but there isn't. So let's just look at the basics. Zilliqa's unique approach to mining. Mining benefits from a unique mechanism that combines proof of work for Sybil resistance and practical Byzantine fault tolerance, PBFT for consensus. If that isn't a mouthful, I don't know what is. So scrolling a little bit more, and again, they do talk about dual mining here and a short window time of mining, but I'm really not getting a ton of information. If you Google more about it, you will get it, but the brass tacks of it all is you have a short window of mining. So let's look at comparing Ezil to K1 Pool. First and foremost, one of the things I like about K1 Pool over Ezil is simply the layout. I know what's going on. I know when my miners are switching over to mining Zilliqa. And the way my rewards are calculated, I can click down here to a pool, Ethereum Classic, and I can easily click this graph and it will tell me what my profits were for the said date. I also have a great breakdown here below, so I really get a good understanding of what's going on when I'm mining here. Pending and what's been paid out. If you head over to Ezil, first and foremost, you don't have to sign up and you are mining using your wallet addresses, which is a good thing, but let's just click on a few things quickly. I'm gonna click on workers. I have two of my other iPollo V1 minis connected to this pool. So same type of miner that we have over at K1 Pool. And one of the things that I find to be really annoying is that if I click on reports and I want to look at payouts and anything that's going on in that department, it's glitchy. The last few days or so here, I haven't been able to see anything. And that's a big deal for me, or it would be for anybody. You want to know where your payouts are going and to be able to understand it. So even though we can see that our miners are connected to the pool, we don't have that same kind of interaction that we do over at K1 Pool. Now, I'll be honest, I have nothing to do with either of these pools, and K1 Pool was just a project for me to see whether or not I could get these iPollos working or not. So at the end of the day, it's something I think that you're gonna wanna try out yourself, because obviously everybody's electrical costs are different. But my opinion as a whole, I prefer K1 Pool. At the end of the day, both of these pools are gonna increase your mining profits with these miners, because let's be honest, the iPollo V1 Mini is barely profitable at this point in time. So if you're making 30% more or 35% more mining Zilliqa, that's a good thing. Again, these miners are ridiculously efficient and you can keep them up and running. I thought I'd mention one more thing. K1 Pool actually has a referral program. I'm not a sponsored guy. I spent a fair bit of time getting these miners up and rocking. If you decide to use my referral link, I'll leave it down below. It will help me out, and as well, it'll give you a discount for kind of future mining fees and what have you if you choose to use the pool. Anyway, smash the subscribe button, hit the like, and we're gonna see you all again really soon. Peace out.